Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host Brian, and today I'm talking Farmer Wants a Wife. This is season 2, episode 12, Family City Visits, part 2. Um, Kind of like what Bill and I said last week. These, not that I don't like seeing the farmers go meet the families. It's just not really that interesting, unfortunately. It's the same stuff. It's like, what do you feel about my daughter? Do you have good intentions for my daughter? Do you love my daughter? What do you think about kids? And it's kind of all the same things here. And I mean, I appreciate them breaking it up. I mean, I'm okay with the way this is split up because we're getting a reunion. If we weren't getting a reunion, I would be a little more annoyed because it's 2 episodes. And just like if we go back and look at the entire course of this show, the 2 weeks it just was not on, and I just feel like it's been on for a long time. And the reunion is definitely the sweetener at the end. Like being surprised by that, that's really what's just keeping me. Obviously, we still like the show here, but that's what's really keeping me on track of. I'm excited to see who they pick. Uh, they're really trying to cliffhanger us or make us think something when they show the preview where Ty's talking to somebody that's not even his girl, just for reactions. But I, I thought none of these conversations and meeting the families changed, made me swing a certain way. I just because I just don't know. I don't think any all the women left, they appear to be okay. They obviously are down to the two that they have left for each farm. They're all good matches. It's not like one of them's like a terrible pick. Um, all right, so Nate episode starts. Nate goes to see Taylor in Dallas, Texas. He picks her up at her job. She is, I think she's works at a salon, and her she's friends with her bosses, and he goes there. They have a conversation. They kind of ask him some tough questions, and when they say tough questions, it's it's the generic questions when you're watching the intentions. Um, I thought he handled it well. Again, it's just I don't know. I'm torn. I honestly am torn on all of these ones. I kind of like that. I'm just going in. Anything that happens, totally fine with. I'm not going to be disappointed with any of the farmer's choices, and I think at least 50% of them will probably end up being single. Mitchell, he goes to LA for Kate, and he gets grilled by the best friend, Shayna. Um, I kind of I did like one of her questions, what about Kate? Is there something about Kate that you really like compared to the other girl, and then vice versa, things like that. Thought he handled the questions. I'm sure he got the coaching. Just I wonder what the editing is like. It's like how long is the pause between knowing the answer and things like that. It's just super interesting, but we'll see. It's also funny to see a cowboy walking on the beach. But I mean, where she lived looked really nice. I thought the places and I think the dad, I like that the dads are being serious about it too. I always try to, now that I have kids, and I'm sure once Bill has his kid, you just kind of start looking at these things. I never really took. I obviously thought that these some of these things were ridiculous, but to see some of the situations that their kids are being put in, and yeah, you don't want bad things to happen to your kid. And honestly, it takes having a kid to finally feel that way. And I never felt that way before until I had kids. I have two girls too, so I definitely feel for some of these shows where the girls I don't want bad things to happen to them, and I never was thinking like that about that 2 years ago. So it's just looking through the lens what you have in your personal life, certain things. It is funny to see how that changes, but yeah, I don't want anything bad to happen to any of the girls, or I don't think any of them are being that led on. I don't think. I mean, the one that would be, I think, the scariest is when we get to his tie. I thought he was upfront about not had that wanting to have kids, or very unsure. And if he wasn't, I'm sure upfront about that, I would be definitely annoyed at him, because they're all young girls. They're want to have a family, totally understandable. It's just that's probably the biggest thing of this episode is Megan is she said that near the end, the decision on children is not going to make or break my connection with Ty. So I think that's a pretty heavy statement. I do think that he's going to lean towards Megan. in his choice if he does. But I do also think I like Bill said that he thinks that she'll be alone, which I could, or he'll be alone, which I can totally see. So Ty does, like I said, Ty meets Megan's family. She's from Franklin, Tennessee. The kid topic, the mom's a little very unsure about it, which totally makes sense if her daughter's on the younger side. Like I totally get that. Like you're signing away, like, oh, I don't want kids. Like that is, yeah, it's a big deal. So Brandon goes to Elkhand. I think it's Elkhand or Elkhart. Sorry, I've said before my handwriting is terrible. Iowa, and he goes there for Emerson. And I thought I think he's gonna pick her, um, based off of the farming. Like she kind of lives in a secluded area, like Iowa, like where he lives in Idaho, but I think it's Idaho. I could be wrong. I know he lives somewhere. He lives in the middle of nowhere, but I like the Emerson. I thought his family. He seems like he could kind of like move in, like the transition to that. I think wouldn't probably be the easiest transition. I just don't know how I feel about Brandon, like at all in some of these things. So interested to see how that goes. But again, that not much happens. It's just a lot of the same conversations that we've seen like in so many shows. It's like copy and paste. So let me know what you think below. Who you think they're going to pick, and if anybody's going to be on themselves. I think that is a strong case that at least somebody will be not choosing any of the women. But I appreciate you guys for watching. We will have, I know we didn't have our normally scheduled Wednesday night stuff come out. Bill has a work thing. I've been alone with my kids for a week, so I'm still working, and like I have to like make sure I'm going to bed early, so I can't. Like Wednesday is one of those days I stay up super late, so I just couldn't do it this week. But we will have something out on Friday for both of those. But we still have um, Summer House. I'll have Summer House at some point. I still haven't watched it yet, but I got to prioritize Farm with the Wife here. But Summer House, and we will also have. I will do Never Ever Met, and that's also on Friday, but I'll have that out by the end of the weekend as well. But all of our things will be caught up by the end of the weekend. So if you're looking for any of those shows, they will be out soon. So appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I know tomorrow's Friday, but I hope you have a good Friday and just a good time. So I'll talk to you in the next video. Have a good night. See you.